After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Pinhook and Needles podcast, episode 312. It is June 18, 2018 as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Princess Congypsy.
We want to welcome you all to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad to have you with us, and if you are returning, we hope you will. We thank you for that as well.
Yeah.
I get sleepy after adoration. I think my brain's not quite awake. If you are new, we're glad to have you with us. We hope you will find something that brings you back. If you're returning, we're glad you're back. And if you are still in the shadows, please feel free to subscribe. Little button on your right, and ring the little bell so you get the notices, and maybe join the Ravelry group. It's Pinhook and Needles on Ravelry, and that's where all the prizes and the giveaways and things happen, and all the support and chatter and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Let's see here. Do you want to say what's in your mug, or is it me first?
It's you first because I have your projects.
Okay. In my Team Owl mug, and I have to turn it around because it's not a left-handed mug. Not that I'm left-handed, but let's see here. Kind of ambidextrous. My Team Owl mug.
I don't even know if there are left-handed mugs.
Well, some of them must be, because I know that some right-handers will pick up a mug and say the wrong picture is facing out.
Huh.
Team Owl.
Although sometimes I feel like they make the pictures to face the person drinking it.
Sorry. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And did you say what kind of
No,
tea?
I didn't actually. Okay. It is Plum Deluxe Peaches and Cream Oolong Tea. I've had this before on the podcast. Slow down for something satisfying. All organic black tea, oolong tea, apple pieces, apricot pieces, calendula, peach vanilla essence, love, gratitude, has caffeine, which I need today. And that's, of course, Plum Deluxe.
I almost went with their non-caffeine peach tea this time, but I didn't.
That's good. That would have been boring.
In my Dysautonomia Awareness mug, I have the Mango Gray Herbal Tea. Take a refreshing sip and smile. It's honeybush tea, Rubio's tea, apple mango, orange peel, calendula, blue cornflower, bergamot / mango essence, love and gratitude, no caffeine.
I didn't say if you wanted to taste mine or not. It's there if you want it.
Let me do that first. That's good. I can taste the peach.
It's very light.
It is very light.
It smells good. Sorry about the slurping. It's a little bit hot still.
This one's really good.
It has mango, and I like mango. It smells good. It is good. I can taste the mango in that. That's really good.
Just drooled all over my cup.
I do not drool. And even if I did, that would be rude to say. You have no manners.
Yeah, I blame the one who was supposed to teach me them.
No, it's not the one who brings the horse to water that's at fault. It's the fact that the horse refuses to drink because it's stupid.
Wow, that's rather mean.
Don't mess with the tired mom.
I'm tired.
I don't care. Okay, anyway, we're glad to have you all with us. We have our Plum Deluxe tea. I am starting to wake up, so we should be fine. The coupon code for Lady Fernicle
We
Creations.
are all doomed if we expect me to carry the podcast.
The coupon code for Lady Fernicle Creations is PHNACW June 18, and that's 15% off, and that runs until the end of this month, so till midnight, June 30th. You can get the 15% discount on anything in the shop, and I am updating the shop periodically, and I'm trying to remember to to put the coupon code, tag that to the new entries. Sometimes it doesn't do that for whatever reason, so I have to do it manually. I've had several orders with the coupon code, so I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. And that's Lady Fernicle Creations on Etsy. In other groups, we have the Harry Potter Cal, which is the Victorian Studios podcast, Who's Maureen, and that's Victorian Studios, and it's a full year long. All the rules are in her group. It's a good podcast to watch. I think you'll enjoy it. And although she's not podcasting as regularly right now, so you might have to keep an eye on it to see when she's podcasting. But it's anything Harry Potter related. The Family Movie Night Cal, and the Year of Socks Cal is Crocheting Whovian. That's Laura Concert in the Crocheting Whovian podcast group, and they're both a year long. The rules are in her group. She's really fun to watch too, and she's getting back on her feet after surgery, so she was saying that she hopes to podcast again soon, so keep an eye out for that. She's a lot of fun, and I love seeing a podcast of hers pop up. And the Family Movie Night is similar to our Tea and Tales, not the same but similar, and the Year of Socks is just as she said, socks. Okay, and there's the Shorty Socks Cal, that's Undead Yard. That's Heidi, who's Nitty Girl, and she has a new podcast up as of last week, I think it was. Oh, the last one, I was kind of upset. The last one she podcasted refused to upload for her. So she did have it, but you can't hear her. It's first it's a little out of sync, and then you can't hear her. So that was
technology.
Yeah, technology. So that was a little disappointing, but it's not her fault. So check her out. I'm sure she'll have something up later. She's really heavy into dyeing yarn, especially now in the summer. You know, I think she's getting ready for shows and things like that. But she's a lot of fun. 18 Hats in 2018 is B-Wing, who is Brittany. That's Comforting Crafts, and she is not a podcast, but she's a very charity-oriented group, and we love Brittany.
Yes.
She's fantastic. And then the 18 Toys in 2018 and the Dragon Along Cal is in the Bee's Knees, which is Vani, Studio Von Design, and that's another one of our members, and that's a lot of fun. She doesn't have a podcast, but the group is a lot of fun. The 18 Toys in 2018 goes for the whole year, I believe, just like the hats one. The Dragon Along, I think, ends in the summer, at the end of the summer, so August 30th or 31st, or whatever it is, I think is when it ends. You have to check it out. Anything dragon themed, which is fun. Okay, so all you Harry Potter people out there, I'm sure there are dragons in Harry Potter, right? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a muggle, so I don't know.
I was just sitting there thinking of Dragonheart, of Sean Connery going,
Oh,
so
yes.
you're not going to call me dragon
Well,
in my
that-
language,
that's
but you're
my-
going to call me dragon in
Your-
yours.
yes,
Oh, no, in your language, you're going to call me dragon in another language.
Yeah, it's that's what I call my dragon that I'm making, Draco.
Draco.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. And, you know, heck, you could
What
do
color
Smaug.
was
You
he?
could do Smaug from The Hobbit.
What color was Draco? I can't remember.
I don't think it was anything really...
It wasn't anything really bright.
I think it was kind of a pale, which I wasn't trying to match him, you know,
I'm
specifically.
just curious. I can't remember.
I think he was kind of a gray purple or gray green or something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'd have to go look. It's been a while since I've seen Dragonheart.
That's probably one of my favorite dragon movies.
I love.
Actually, it is my favorite.
Yeah, I
dragon
love
movie.
Dragonheart.
I mean, I know that it was completely outdated, the way the dragon looks and everything.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I like that. I like Rain of Fire.
Rain of Fire is good, but in Rain of Fire, they're
They're
they are
bad.
animals.
Yeah, yes, they are. Okay, and the last thing, excuse me, that I want to mention is the 2018 tracking stash, and that's Deb's Destiny, who is Debbie, and Blue Yarn Always, who is Sheila from the Never Cast Off podcast, and the rules are in their group.
That's a really good tea.
I still have the taste of it in my mouth. Okay, let me have a little sip of tea, and then we'll move forward.
You know you're jealous of mine.
It's a good tea, too. All right, now,
Mine's better.
Autism Awareness, our Cal started April 1st, and we only have about a week to go. a little more than a week, about 10 days or something like that. Today's the 18th, so it ends, I guess it's a little less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you have a little less than 2 weeks to get those really bright colored projects in. I'm enjoying them so much. I haven't been able to keep up like I'd like, but I love looking at them. And what I do is well, anyone who's part of the group knows I go in spurts. You know, I'll get them all finished or do a chunk of them in autism awareness, and I'll go chunk of them in PHN, Tea and Tails, back and forth. And I'm behind in both of them right now, but I love seeing all the projects and all the encouragement and all the enabling going on. Is fantastic. So although April is Autism Awareness Month, we have the Cal Lal for 3 months. So it gives you, stress-free, chance to just knit or crochet or loom knit, whatever you want to make. Okay, let me see here. We have 2 lovely co-hosts. We have Laura, who's crocheting Hoovian, and we have Cappy, who is the Yarn and I. And they each have podcasts. Cappy's is the Yarn and I podcast, I think. Her group is the Yarn and I Cappy, I think. I may have it mixed up. Because the group
You looked up some iteration of that.
Yeah, the Yarn and I Cappy. And so they're both very good podcasts. Cappy hasn't done one in a while either. I think, again, she's been busy with her yarn dyeing. But she should be having one pretty soon. I think the last one she had was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. So we'll see what happens with that. But she's a lot of fun, and she's very informative when she does podcasts. And Laura's just a hoot, so we just
She's
enjoy
an
it.
owl?
She's an owl. That's why I like her so much. She's an owl. Okay, so those are our co-hosts. The tags are PHN AA 2018 on Ravelry and hashtag PHN AA 2018 on Instagram if you are posting there. And let's see here. Laura's tags are slightly different, and I don't know what Cappy's are. I'm sure they're slightly different as well. You have to be a member to the group to which you're posting the projects in order to be eligible for the prizes, and they must be knitted, crocheted, or loom knitted, and be bright colored. Your neutrals, your blacks, your whites, and things like that can be present, but please make it be about 75% brightly colored in our group. I think Laura said 90% or 95%, and Cappy's is even more different. I don't know what hers is. You'll have to check her group. Even more different.
Even more different.
One whip per project per week, and the FO whenever you're done. And if you post the FO, and you worked on the project on Tuesday and you finished the FO some other time during the week, like Thursday or Friday or whatever, you can post that FO whenever it's finished. Let's see here. Okay, we have mentioned the prizes. We have had wonderful donators, and I have already mentioned who they are, and we are very grateful to them, and I will mention them again when we give out the prizes. We do have featured patterns and featured yarns, which give you extra chances for a prize for the FO only. Any Franciscan Gypsies design that is finished in a bright colored yarn. Any Crocheting Hoovian with Laura Concert pattern in a bright color. Any Nimble Baby Blanket, which is loom knit, that's by Mom Cook, that is finished in a bright color. And Miss World's patterns, particularly Tatty Teddy and the Weighted Lapgan and Bear patterns, if they're brightly colored, get 2 chances at a prize for a finished object. Anything in my yarn, my bright colored yarn, including the Autism Awareness yarns, and anything in the yarn bright colored yarns that are finished are eligible for 2 chances at a prize. If you use one of my yarns or Cappy's yarns and one of the featured patterns in the bright colored and you finish it up, then you have 3 chances of a prize, and you are responsible for your multiple postings. I want to thank everybody who has done this, taken the bull by the horns and done their multiple postings on their own. We appreciate that. Allison was the last one I noticed who did that, so thank you, Allison, for that. Okay. Oh, here are my prize donators. Looney Hiker, Victorian Studio, Silvershed USA, Deb's Destiny, Spinning Laura, Miss World, Mama C, Hooking for Fun. So we had a whole bunch of donators for the along. So you guys are gonna look out. I'm excited. That's awesome. Now I do have some facts, just very briefly, for the autism awareness, and this is probably the last time I'll be doing the facts. We'll see what I pick up for next week, and how time, how our time constraints are, because we have to do it on Sunday next week, which means she might be a little sleep deprived. Okay, these are from the same person I've been quoting from previously, this professional speaker, Carrie Magro. Okay, and he says that half the children identified with autism spectrum disorder have average or above average intelligence. People think that because they see things like when they're nonverbal and things like that, that they're all like that, and they're not intelligent. Even the ones who are nonverbal, we don't know how intelligent they are because they can't communicate. So it's a good idea to keep in mind that a lot of the autistic spectrum disorder children have average or above average intelligence. About half of them. About 25% of individuals with autism are nonverbal. And I keep thinking about when I was going through school and they were talking about autism, the one story that stuck in my head, and I've mentioned this before, I'm sure people who have watched a podcast previously will remember this, but the story that stuck in my head, one of the case studies was of a child who had autism and he could not do anything until he took an imaginary plug and plugged it into an imaginary socket, and then he could do whatever it was he had to do. And he was nonverbal. So it takes very unique, it presents uniquely in different individuals. 35% of young adults, 19 to 23, with autism have not had a job or received a postgraduate education after leaving high school. And the majority of adults with autism are unemployed or underemployed. Okay, so Davina did have a job for a little while, but after a while it didn't work out. And so it was just, the situation was difficult for her. So she worked at home. For as long as I worked at Seton, she got occasional jobs at home. But once I stopped working, she didn't. So that's that. Just some things to think about. Okay. The PHNT and Tails year-long Cal is, as I said, year-long, and we're doing this one on our own, and it's running from January 1st of this year through December 31st of this year. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted, and for you new members, we have recently made all our Cal-Cals into Cal-Lals, which mean we accept knitting, crocheting, and loom knitting. Previous WIPs are allowed, but must be worked on during the time that we are, the along goes, which is anytime this year. It has to be worked on. Chatter and pictures be in the same thread, and they must be tied, the projects must be tied in some way, shape, or form to the theme of tea and or tails. It does not have to be both. It can be either or, but both would be awesome. Okay? And we have, as we have mentioned, it can be, tales can be books, novelizations, graphic novels, short stories. Has a beginning, middle, and an end. Okay? One WIP per project per week, and the post the FNO whenever it's finished. Franciscan Gypsies Designs and Lady Fernicle Creations Yarns will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize for the finished object, as long as it's somehow related to tea and tails. Featured patterns are Joanna Johnson, who has a really huge line of literary related patterns, and she's knit. And Mom Cook, who is Renee, she has a fairly good size amount of loom knit patterns that are tea related. I believe she also has something that is tail related in terms of Greek mythology or something, I believe, because she gave me a pattern. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but it looks really good. I'm afraid to go past my simple hats. I have to get going, and I know Beth is going to spank my hand, but tell me to get going. But because she's very encouraging. So that also gets that's a featured pattern, and crocheting Hoovian's patterns. If you can make them relate to tea and tails, her Hufflepuff especially, but even her hat, if you can, use a featured yarn or somehow name it something to do with tea and tails, then acceptable. Make it work, and we'll accept it. The end of June prizes, we have because we will be pulling for prizes probably July 1st to make sure everybody gets in. And one of the winners will get a Plum Deluxe tea prize, and the other one will get a skein of self-striping yarn that is called Ravenclaw. And Margaret, who's Fiber Hermit, donated that. So thank you very much. And then
now the winner for the Plum Deluxe Tea, they will get contacted beforehand because we will want to make sure that that particular person doesn't have any allergies that need to be concerned about.
And if they need to have caffeine, can't have caffeine or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And that would come directly from Plum Deluxe.
Yeah. Okay, so it'll be a purple package.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd be happy, ma'am.
All right, that's it for that. Do you have anything you want to add to that, or are you ready to move on?
Can we move on?
Okay, I think I have 8. Let me see. 1. If you're counting, I apologize. 2.
No, she isn't.
No, I don't. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have 8.
You might have 5.
You have 5? Okay. Let me go first here. Find my first project. Because I always have to check. I know what I have. I always have to check. Okay, the first one I have is in my Fun in the Woman Cave bag. Where is my Fun? Here it is. That's this is the large, I believe. The Silver Shed USA, and the artwork's by my husband. So they teamed up and they did a wonderful job. And this is my Blue Sky shawl from my pattern that's in testing, the I'll Be There For You shawl. And yes, I know I haven't gotten the list out for testing. I intend to do that soon. I'm in the middle of the row here. But pulling a Lindsay. Not that anybody knows probably anymore because we don't say that anymore. But
yeah. And they haven't podcasted in
They
a long
haven't.
time.
I missed them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Utopia Lima in the Blue Sky colorway. This was donated to me. It was given to me, actually, gifted to me by Laura Concert. And it's really soft. And
It's baby alpaca.
It's 100% alpaca. And I enjoy working this because it is soft. And it's a fairly... This pattern, what I did was I developed something that I just wanted to be easy to do at the theater or in the waiting room or when you're driving and somebody's driving in the car.
You don't generally knit in the theater.
I don't, but I want it to be for the other people.
Mm-hmm.
And
but when you first started, you were just...
yeah, sort of. When I realized that I might be doing this for a pattern, I realized that I want it to be really easy, so that people can just say, okay, oh, this person needs a pattern, and needs a hug. I'm going to make them this shawl, or I want to have something that's completely mindless because I'm going to be standing in line or waiting at a dentist's office or something, or watching a movie, and this is not so big that you can't take it with you. So
can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you. So
Lionel Barrymore, Jimmy Stewart,
Jean Arthur.
There we go.
Very good. Okay, so that's the first one.
Ann
Miller.
Miller, thank you.
Okay. My next one is my In the Rainforest baby hat. That's a loom knit project, and it's in my Kikiboo Holiday Owls bag. And that is Denise. And I made some progress on this. I keep forgetting that I have it in my bag, so I keep forgetting to do it. So I end up balling up the yarn because it was like spaghetti, a tangled mess. So I should be able to finish this if I sit down and do it, this week.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, so the first one I can't actually show you because it's the design in progress.
Project?
Yes, it's a design in project. Design in progress. So that's all you get to see in my Creepy Llamas Ploverbird bag.
Have I seen that one?
Yeah, you know what that is.
It's the one I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. My next one is, if I can find it, because I have gazillion projects on here. Okay. In my Ploverbird Truly high tea bag. is my Sherwood shawl, and this is the TGV pattern, high speed knitting pattern by Susan Ashcroft. And I made a little progress on it. I think I only did a row or two on it, and then I put it aside for other things. So it's getting there. I know what. I stopped because this is going to seem stupid, but I've never done ribbing unless it's in the round. So when I'm doing ribbing flat, is that... Sorry, actually I must have done it for this.
Yes.
Do I just do... If I do knit, purl on the right side, do I still do knit, purl on the back side, or do you do purl, knit?
You do what is right below it. So if it looks like a purl, you purl it. If it looks like a knit, you knit it.
Okay, but I don't understand.
Okay, so if you did knit, purl on the right side, when you turn, if you end it on a purl and you flip it, it's going to be a knit on the other side. So then you knit.
So you're doing the opposite.
Right.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because I couldn't remember. I have done it. I forgot about my shawl, but I didn't remember doing it. And I sat there like I had a complete brain freeze, and I couldn't remember.
You read the knitting below it to match that knitting.
It's hard to read on this because I just did the first row. So I guess I can read it.
Yeah.
But
you just need to pay attention.
It's very, very tight in here. Once I get started, I'll be fine. But, so, here would be...
You see, those are purls there, so these two
are knits, these two are purls.
That's what it looks like anyway.
And this yarn was spun by Laura Smoot. She gave it to me about 3 years ago. What are you doing?
Just verifying that that's in fact a purl. Yes, it is. Because it almost looked like... Yeah.
Because once I get a couple on here, I can read it just fine. It's just hard to read right now.
Because that looks like that's a purl. Purl. That's a purl. It's almost like you have several purls on the end.
I don't know. I have to check my pattern. Alright.
I'm not familiar with that pattern, so...
It's a very forgiving pattern. If I were to, do it again, do the knit purl over and start from there, it wouldn't matter because it's one row. So, okay. That's that. Okay.
Is it my turn?
I have 3 down there.
Okay.
So how many do you have left?
I have 4.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I should... No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 4?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so in my Silver Shed USA Nursing Caps on Pale Field bag is 8, which is the Decennium pattern by Vintage Pearls. And I'm using Miss Bab's Tarte Babette in the colorway Electric Turquoise, Spring Tree Roan, the colorway Jenny Linsky, and Zen Yarn Garden Serenity Silk in the colorway Blood Orange. And just got a little bit of work done on this last night. Hold on, tangle up in my stitch markers.
Yeah, sometimes I do that. I thought I was the only one talented enough to do that.
Well, when you have 3 strands of yarn actively going.
I can do it with 1 strand of yarn.
So
that's really pretty.
Thank you.
Nice.
So the second
That's really pretty.
row of round of these
Stargates.
black little things.
Look at the Stargates. It looks like the Stargate when it just starts going, when it starts ready to do the whoosh.
Yeah. So it's coming along.
Very pretty.
This has been a fun hat to knit.
That's the one with the ribbon with 2 colors, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the corrugated ribbon.
Yeah. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA Tortoise vs. Hare 2017 bag, that means the tortoise one, this is, as I said, Silver USA, thank you, Anne, is my Bobbing Along Baby Blanket project. And I did about 2 rows on this last night. I lost my hook. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. And I made a little progress, a couple rows. I had to go easy on this because it's a lot of hand movement for a row. But I like the way it's turning out. It's striping, which is interesting. Davina got me the yarn. I had one and she bought me 2 others. And this is what I have left of the first ball so far. I think I'll use at least 2. So I think it'll be a nice baby. It'll be a warm baby blanket. It's heavy. So it's a nice change from what I usually do with baby blankets. I just kind of do a double crochet or whatever. And I'm using, this is an eye hook, and the yarn is Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel in the blueberry colorway. Okay, that's that one.
So in my Silver Shed USA Star Wars Rebel Scum bag is the RAR hat. This is the Diane's hat pattern by Joanna Johnson. I'm using Dragon Horde yarn, fluffy sock, and the colorways Dinosaurs RAR. And this is for Davina.
I have to ask her how she came up with that name for that. That's fun.
It is.
Very nice.
So,
Tristan, right?
this one is... No, wait.
Tristan's the daughter, right?
Yes, this is
Okay.
Tristan's.
Yeah.
I always mix up whose shop is whose, but I'm
I
pretty
do
sure
too.
this one's Tristan.
And I think I spelled her name wrong, but you'll know who I am. Which is...
I'm sure hope I know who you are. So, very bright. Very Davina.
Mm-hmm.
And I won this yarn from Laura Crochet and Hovian.
Yep. Okay, let's see where we're at here. My next one is in my Knitting's My Bag Winter Cardinals bag. This one right here. She no longer has a shop, which is sad. She was the first person, her and Ploverbird, that I used to buy bags from with any regularity. There's one other, but I didn't do a lot from her. This is my Faith of Our Father's bookmark. And it doesn't look like I've done a lot on this, but I did. I did about maybe 4 rows on this. My hands were hurting a lot this weekend with the weather, so I had to kind of... Can you see?
Yeah, they can see.
I can't see.
They can see.
So I'm almost to the end of the first repeat, and I'm supposed to do like 3 or 4 repeats, I think it was. So, yeah, this is fun. I enjoy this. It's just letting my hands cooperate, and sometimes I'll do 8 rows or something like that, and sometimes I can only do 2 or 3. And this week was really hard on my hands with the weather, so I only did a couple rows. But it was fun. I enjoy that immensely.
So that goes on to my next project.
How many do you have left?
2.
2? I've got 3. Do you want me to go again, or do you want me to...
Sure.
Okay. Let's see here. Because that way we'll be even, right?
Yes.
Okay. In my, Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn bag that Kim made me, I won this from Heidi on Dead Yarn, is my Purple Neon Bobble Hat. And I did a fair amount on this one, actually. It's the Bobble Slouch Beret by Kate Alvis, and this is the 3rd one I've done, and this one I'm actually using the right needle.
Hook.
So, a hook, yes.
You're not
Wow.
using a needle at all.
You can tell I've kind of switched from being a crocheter foremost to a knitter when I start saying needles first. Isn't that a lot better than what I had before? It's not so ginormous.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for Little Miss Thing. She has been hinting very loudly about it, that she really likes the color and stuff like that. So, and like I said, she has the other 2 I made as well. And this is right up her alley color-wise. So
Yes, it is.
it's all bright. The color is, let's see here, Hobby Lobby, I Love This Yarn, Neons in the colorway Purple Neon. So, and I'm using the J hook, I think. I can't read. It's a 6.5 millimeter. So I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's all it says. There's 6.5.
K. It's a K hook. So I replaced the bigger one because it was just too big, and when I used the J, it was too small. So we'll see if this works without me having to make any modifications at the end. Okay. Such a cute little bag.
So, in my Ploverbird stained glass Batman bag is Tea Break. It's a test knit from Mom's Pattern. I'll be there for you. And I'm using Miss Babs Killington in the colorway Coffee Break.
This is a variegated yarn, correct?
Yes. And this is I worked on this a lot the other week when I was at the movies because I don't need to look at it. And worked a few rows, I think.
It's very pretty. I like the way it's working up with the variegated.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So now we can
There's
see.
a lot more blue in it than I realized, even though you can't tell on
It's kind
the
of
camera.
a blue-gray.
Yeah.
It's good because you can see, you've seen it in the Mandela, which is striped, this, which is variegated, and the solid, which I'm doing. So you can see how it works up with different yarns.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So, it's a very easy knit.
Mm-hmm. As it's meant to be. What size needles are you using? Are you using the 9s or the 8s?
I think I'm using 10s.
Oh, you're using 10s?
Yeah, because that's what you used in the 10s.
Yeah, because I used 10s with the Mandela. I'm using 9s, I think, with the blue one. I forget.
Yeah.
I have to check and see. Okay. My next project is in my Tootsie Pop Owls bag. This is Draco the Dragon from the Dragon pattern by Stacy Trock. It's the Dragon Adventures pattern, which I've had in my queue for, and actually had in my files for years. And I'm at the point where are you?
He is actually in there, right?
He is in here.
Yeah, he might even be the same color as Draco.
What I have to do now, the reason I haven't done any further yet is because I had to find the other end, because I have to stop where I'm at and make the other pieces so I can attach. So I don't want to cut this and have to reattach. I'm just, she says to just, take the hook out and make so you don't lose the hook, mark it with a pin or whatever so you don't lose the stitch. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make the pieces I need and continue on. This is for the main body. This is for the rest of him. So
Very cool.
I'm really happy. I was going to give this away, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns out.
If you hate him, you'll give him away?
Well, no, if I don't hate my toys usually. But you can tell my gauge is a little tighter here.
Yes.
So that's that. I'm using, what hook am I using? I am using an F hook. She called for, I think, an H or an I hook. And I just learned from experience that, first of all, I'm using a lighter yarn. This is DK. And she, I think she used a worsted. And so her hook would be bigger. So I just went down a hook size. I don't know, I can't see what that is. So anyway, I'm having fun with this. It makes me happy. But I can't do the turtle anymore until Tortoise versus Hare. There we go. Okay.
So, in my Ploverbird Turtles bag is Buttery Goodness, which is the Diana's Hat pattern by Joanna Johnson. This one was probably what I worked on the most this week.
It looks like it.
Last podcast, I was just a little bit above this section here. And then I've done all this knitting here.
I will.
I've done all this knitting right here since then, so.
Sorry about the interruption. She wanted to know if she could take a shower. I told her she had to have half-hour tops because we had things to do. So, okay. Did you get everything done that you wanted to say?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't have this one last time. In my Crocheting Hoovian bag is my purple Crocheting Hoovian bag is my monkey bag project. It's a surprise backpack pattern by Amy B. Stitch. I blame Vonnie for this. She posted it in one of her threads. It's all her fault. I don't make bags.
I'm like, why are you even making this?
I don't know why. And it may not finish. I don't know. But here it is.
You got a lot of crochet on.
I do.
Right now.
I do have a lot of crochet. And this is going to be the coordinating. This is the bottom, and this is the coordinating. And they said it makes a nice project bag.
Do you know there's a monkey on here?
That's why I call it the monkey bag. That's why I call it the monkey bag.
Oh, I thought there was actually like a monkey on the bag.
No. There's no monkey on it. This is monkey red. So I call it the monkey bag. And it's cotton. The bag is cotton. So I've never made a bag, but I'm going to try it and see. And if I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'll give it away. Or even if I do and I can't figure out what to do with it, I might just give it away. And it will make a nice gift. Somebody made modifications. It's a backpack, but somebody did modifications. I don't know if it's in pattern or not, where you can have handles instead. And I kind of would like that better.
Right.
But we'll see. I'll ask some of the people. I think Rena made one of these.
Okay.
And I'll have to ask her if she noticed any modifications. But it's fun. I mean, it's like making a toy without closing it up. So I don't foresee any real problems with it. So that's why I decided to do this, something different. And I thought, oh, it'd be pretty, you know, with this, because I had this yarn in my stash forever, thinking I was going to do hats or whatever with it, and I hadn't. So I'm
very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn.
No, I have nothing else.
Oh, okay. Do you have any FOs?
No.
Okay, I have a what do you call it? An edit.
Okay.
Okay, so in my Ploverbird Owls bag is my Mother's Day shawl from the Dead Easy. It's off the needles.
So you just need to weave in ends.
Yeah, and I need to block it. I have to figure out how to wear it exactly. I didn't go the full distance with it. I made a medium instead of a large, and it's kind of a collar. It's kind of a collar. I can't see because the camera's in my way, but and I'll be better able to show you when I've washed and blocked. I was going to block it, but then it would have been wet. Oh, fiddle faddle! I forgot to get the thing from downstairs that I wanted to get. It's no biggie.
It's funny.
So it would be nice under a coat, or maybe when it's blocked, it'll show nice if you have like the Victorian times when they have those pins.
Yeah.
You know, like a what do you call those Italian cameos?
Oh, okay.
Cameo pins and things like that. So I will block this and weave in the ends hopefully by next week and show you. And this is all undead yarn. This is Heidi's pattern. It's called the Dead Easy pattern. So that's off needles, and it will probably be an FO, I'm hoping, next week. Okay. Alright, so
that leads on to shop.
Do we do stash enhancements or shop first?
Oh, that's right. I don't have any stash enhancements.
Okay, I do have stash enhancements, just one. I'm sorry, I have to be out of frame for a minute. I ordered some cards from Brittany with B-Wing, and they came in really, really fast.
Yeah, they did. Brittany, I know that you have a message to me. I started my work stretch at that point, and I just haven't gotten around to answering.
Because I have to have owls. They're not all owls, but both. She put owls on the front of both of them for me. There are some tea related. I think what she did was she divided them in half. I'm afraid if I take them out, I won't be able to get them back in. These are owls and pencils and pens. I can't see them all. You'll see them when I send them out. Turtle and a puppy. There's a whole bunch of really cute ones in here. There's one like a band with animals in it. So I don't want to open them up because she's got them really packaged in here nicely, and if I start taking them out, I won't get them in as nicely as she put them in. So they're going to stay here. So that's my stash enhancement with a nice little note. And if you want cards, she's on Facebook. She makes really, really nice cards.
Yes, she does.
She really does. Okay, so that's that. Now, all right. Do we have autobiography?
Yeah. I honestly don't have a whole ton in the way of autobiography most of my week was spent with medically type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have started a Gregory Peck marathon.
Gregory Peck.
So watching things on Amazon Prime, they're all Gregory Peck related.
Cool. I wrote to the shared story, and basically I'm just, reading and, doing religious activities and things like that. Nothing really exciting there. But if are we moving on to Etsy shop news?
Etsy should have gone before autobiography. It usually does.
Oh, does it? I have it
Yes.
after here.
Yeah, it never goes after.
Because it's been there forever. I
Yeah,
haven't
we
changed
never
it.
do it that way.
Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever. What's next?
First of all, I want to thank everyone for their well wishes from last week.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that. And thanks for all the compliments on like the hats and things like that. Yeah. So just wanted to make sure I said those things. I didn't, because I haven't answered anything anywhere.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody who has mentioned my shawl, how much they liked the design. It will be going up. I just want to have Taya look at some stuff. It'll probably go in for testing without the pictures because it's not necessary to have the pictures. Although I might have just, so get an idea of how it's supposed to look, I might have some pictures I took of Davina in the shawl on there. It will be different for the finished pattern. But it will probably go up. Mike was going to take pictures for me this past weekend, but Saturday was kind of, I don't know, Saturday was strange. Davina was sick last week, so Saturday was kind of strange. And then Sunday was Father's Day, so we didn't get pictures taken for the actual pattern. So if you don't mind, I'll probably be sending out a bare bones pattern. It has everything you need, but for those who are testing, it'll have everything you need, but it'll be just the facts, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. So that'll be the pattern. And I do want to thank everybody who said they like it. That really made my day. Now, Etsy. Okay. I was kind of busy this week for Etsy. This is my Precious Pug Oops. Usually my Precious Pug is just black and this kind of tans. This one, the black broke, and it's really, really pretty. So I call it, the only reason I'm not making its own colorway is because I'm not sure I can recreate it.
Right.
So this is a Precious Pug Oops. It's blacks and grays and tans. And I just think it's really pretty.
It's not even really gray. It's more of like a
blue-gray.
Slatey.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Can you see that?
You can kind of see it.
I just really like it, if I do say so myself.
And you do.
And I do. My friend, I gave one to Laura Smoot. The colorway was developed for her. And hers was much more Precious Puggy. It was, sharp blacks and sharp tans. This one, for whatever reason, decided that the black wanted to break. And it's really pretty. So I'm selling it as Precious Pug Oops. And it's got the full yardage and everything. So it makes somewhat a pretty shawl or socks or something. I think it's really pretty. Sometimes you get really nice surprises when things like that happen. So I have one of these. This is a fingering sock, 467 yards, 100 grams, 80-20 superwash merino polyamide. So, okay. The next one I made is, this is Purple Hoovian, and this, of course, was made with Laura Concert in mind, and she got hers already. That's why I can make this now. She got the first one. And this is meant to go with this. That was the inspiration for the bag. I mean, for the yarn. So this is Purple Hoovian.
Now that doesn't mean that if you order it, you'll get the bag.
No. This is just the inspiration. I can't see if they can see what I'm showing
They can
them.
see.
Okay. So she has already gotten hers, so I can now make mine. So, and this is also the same base. It's superwash merino polyamide, 80-20, 467 yards, and there are two of these that will be in the shop. have to be really careful. If you're a friend of mine, you might get a yarn
Named after you.
named after you. Okay, that's that. And then this is Buzz Buzz. Okay, this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference.
The
There's
newer series.
The new series. And I have one more downstairs drying because I need to touch it up. So I have 2 of the fingering sock, 467 yards, and this is a DK. Okay, now the DK is going to be slightly less. It's not going to be quite the normal price because it was cut. So there's slightly less in the skein than there would be. So I took the percentage, I weighed it, and I took the percentage and knocked off that percentage of price. So that is the DK one, and this has 222 yards of DK Buzz Buzz, and this is the 467 of the... Am I boring you?
No, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I didn't sleep well.
I'm sorry to hear that. So this is Buzz Buzz, fingering sock. Davina was really excited about this one because she liked the yellow and the black. And this is definitely a TMNT reference. It's not necessarily
Traditional.
turflidal,
Yeah.
but it's something he says all the time. Mikey always says, and it drives Raph crazy. He says buzz buzz after things, and then Raph promptly smacks him on the head or something.
It's usually when he's dressed as Triflidal, though, that he says buzz buzz.
Not always, though.
Yeah.
Not always, but usually. So, and sometimes this will have a little white in it because the Buzz Buzz family, the bumblebee family, includes honeybees. And if you look at a honeybee on the
What?
the honeybee has a white ring around the back end of it. So that's Buzz Buzz.
Listening to you.
You're sleeping. And if you want to sleep, do it on your own time, not on the podcast time. This is another one that is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference. Laura Concert. Do you know what this is? This is that which will be known as Krang. You have a picture. Okay, that's the picture, the Krang, and this is the colorway. It's got yellows, neon greens, purples, and a very dark, like almost a black. It is a black, actually. So this is that which was known as Krang. And I have 2 of these in fingering sock. Davina named it for me because I was going to just call it Krang. She said, no, Mom, it has to be that which is known as Krang. If you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, you will understand that the Krang do not speak like normal people. They use this really convoluted way of speaking, and an example is that which is known as Krang. They would say that the turtles, that which is known as the turtles are coming from that which is known as the place as...
Which we are not currently at.
Which we're not currently at, or something. It's just, it's really, you have to go watch the turtles. It's worth it. So these will be going up in the shop pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly when I have to take pictures. And, you know, so that's that. Okay. Do you have anything else that you need to say before you start snoring on the podcast?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so that's the Etsy shop. Alright, we will probably be podcasting on Sunday next week because, as I said, Talia has things to do on Monday. She has a doctor appointment on Monday morning. Just a checkup, right?
That's the one because of all the issues I had.
Oh, that's right, with Dr. Casera.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in the morning, so we won't be able to podcast, even though she'll be home because we don't know when she'll get to sleep. So we will be podcasting on Sunday, and we will look forward to seeing you then. We hope you will come back for that. Oh, I know what I forgot. If Talia can stay awake for 5 minutes here. Can you stay awake for 5 minutes?
4 minutes.
5. Or I will flick you again.
That's not nice.
It'll keep you awake.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. Okay, what I'm going to read this time is short. It's again from the Knitting Ephemera that Laura Smoot gave me. And this says, Rose Wharfman is known as a Holocaust survivor and the heroine of the French resistance during World War II. There's no way I'm going to read this without my glasses. Okay. Wharfman survived imprisonment at several Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. At Birkenau, she was among a group of women assigned the task of knitting undershirts for German infants. Later, when cold weather arrived, the women were told to knit socks for German soldiers. As an act of passive resistance, Wharfman reportedly created large knots in the bottom of the socks to render them unusable, which I think is absolutely hysterical. Love passive resistance. That's great. So that's your little knitting fact for today, the Knitting Ephemera. We both wish you a week full of knitting and crocheting and crafting, whatever it is that makes you happy. And we hope to see you back here in the Woman Cave for the Fun and the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode what? 312? Yes, 312. Oops. Almost had tea all over it. Episode 312, and that's a wrap.
Bye.